Are we live? Are we live? It says your event is starting. I think I'm live. Let's see. Connect the chat. No. Your event is starting. Your event is starting, and it says I'm live now. There we go. Let's do our little test. Test. It's there. Alright. So, welcome to the third video in this 8-video series, where we are going to be assembling the Prusa i3 Mark 2s. So, if you didn't see the last video, you can check it out on my channel. It's how to assemble the Prusa i3 Mark 2s, and it's labeled X-axis assembly. So far, we have the Y and the X-axis assembled. So now it's time to assemble the Z-axis, and we're going to start making this look like a 3-dimensional machine. So, let's tilt the camera down, and let's get right into it. Alright. Yeah, there we go. So there's that. I'm going to move the cord out of the way. Alright. First things first, we need to grab our printed parts. So, that will be in our box. We need the Z-axis parts. There's our hardware pack. And we also need the parts that have been printed. Just right here. Morning rover, USS rover, or for me, it is about mid-afternoon. We have the Z-axis. Yeah, I've been doing some casual assembly today of the Prusa i3 Mark 2s. So, printed parts. So we got one Z-bottom, the other Z-bottom, 2 Z-top parts, and 2 Z-screw covers. So first things first, we need our frame. And we need to screw these guys on. So the hardware pack is right here. Alright, we need M3x10s, that are these guys here, right? Alright, here's an M3x10. We're going to start putting the Z-axis bottom pieces on. So what you do is you just thread the screw into the holes on the frame, and you want to make sure the Prusa logo is visible while you're doing this. You want to make sure you have the right side for each. You want to make sure you have the right bottom piece for each side. So on the right side, you want the hole to be sticking out on the right. A bigger hole for everything. And the hole for the rod, this hole right here. Small little hole, you want that to be on the right side, and vice versa for the left side. So this just gets screwed into place. Don't want to screw it on too tight. It is threaded on the back side. You don't want to screw it in too tight though, or else you're going to break your printed part. So these just go in here like this. Alright. Let's just move up here. I hope you should still be able to hear me well. And then we're going to do the other one right here. Now, all the orange is printed in Prusa orange PETG, and all the black parts are printed in Matter Hackers Pro Series PETG. Alright, now we need our Z lead screws. Alright. The Z motors. Now, these little nuts here, keep them. They're going to be important. Now we're going to put on the covers. So there's just thread on here. Now you want to screw the covers on, but you don't want to completely screw them down. You don't want to like tighten it. You want to have it so it's like right there. Just so it's touching the piece and covering it. It's not like making it harder for the motor to move. Two-part giveaway. Yeah, the covers should be screwed fully to the motor, but not so tight that it limits the movement of the motor. Alright, so right there. Like that. Just flush with the top. This one could be screwed down just a tad bit more. There we go. Okay, I might have screwed that one on a little bit too much there. There we go. Alright. Placing the Z motors. So there's two. One has a really long cord. The other one does not. The one with the really long cord goes on the right side. The one with the safety sticker, because it needs to go a further distance. It also says Z-axis right on the bottom. Now, using the M3x10 screws, just going to screw these in. I'm going to start finger tight for now, and then we'll tighten them at the end. Well, we'll tighten it after every single screw has been put in place. Alright, and then this one. Alright, now we're going to secure this down. See now, if I finished working on this today, I wouldn't be able to print with it because I don't have the necessary components for it. I don't have everything. I had to order a new screw terminal for my bed because the plug melted. Alright. Darn. Alright. Alright, now we gotta place the trapezoidal / palm nuts. So, whoever's these screws in here, the wires are gonna be going right underneath those grooves there. Alright, there. Just gonna place this to the side because we are gonna grab it quite soon. We need our X-axis assembly. This guy right here, the one that we assembled in the last portion. We need these palm nuts. They're made out of Delrin, the trapezoidal nuts. We need 4 M3 nuts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. One goes here. The other one you're going to need some pliers for. Take that, and that slides right in to this little spot underneath here. So, in the spot underneath the carriage. And we take the other one, and that screw goes right here. Then that guy goes right there. And then we need M3 by 12 screws, and those will go right here. Where did my Allen key go? There goes a nut. Where did my Allen key go? There. So that's those two. There we go. That's nice. I'm just putting this guy together. Well, I'm doing it in parts, so it's like a tutorial, sort of. So the palmets are on. Now we need to place this to the side a little bit, so it's going to be grabbed literally right after this. I'm going to take this guy here, grab our last two linear rods, and we're going to push them into the printed parts. Like so. Sometimes it doesn't want to go. Alright. Alright. If it doesn't really go, you need to do that. Yeah, it's fine. They're in. Alright, now we gotta place these top parts. So make sure you don't crimp any wires while you're placing the machine down. Grab your top parts. These are also M3x10 screws. I'm going to push the part on. And then you're going to screw it into place with two M3x10 screws. So one goes right here. I'll just take them from the spare bags, probably a bunch. And 3x10 screws. Alright, so now the annoying ones, because these are hidden behind the carriage. So it's 4 M3x10 screws right in the top. And you just tighten it down. Now it's time for some cable management. So we're going to place this here like this. Give yourself some edge on the table while you're working. I'm going to flip it over. Well, you should flip it over, like so. These cables don't matter at the current moment. You need 4 zip ties. So you're going to feed them all under the carriage like this. Straight in. And the really long cable, we're going to zip tie it to the bottom. Alright, so there you go. You've got all of the ties down here. You grab one of the Z motors, you grab the other Z motor, and on the last one you move it with it. So you have both ends right here. Clean all of the ends. Now we need to get our Y-axis. Once again, what you need to be careful of is not to crimp down any of the wires while we're doing this. Also, there's a very important step. I need to move my mic up. It's a very important step here too. I'll tell you that in just a second. First things first, we gotta make sure that one washer, one M10 washer, goes on both sides. Needs to be one washer on each side, like this. That's on one side, now we need to do the other side. So we're going to push it up. Separate the washers. And then drop it in. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure we do not change the distance between the counter nuts. So what you want to you only want to screw the front screw into place. Don't touch the back nuts. Now I'm going to just semi-tighten it so I can flip it over. I'm also going to need to stand up for this. Just want it semi-tight, and we're going to get up, grab your hex wrench, what you need to do is you need to take this, invert it, hold it up, unscrew these just a little bit, now we need to secure the nuts in place. Just take this and tighten it down. Now we're just going to tighten the nuts down here. Alright. Now we can flip it back over, making sure not to crush the wires. And there you go. Now if you did this right, when you place it on the table, the Y-axis corner should be touching the ground, and the frame should not be touching the ground. This rectangular frame here. Now we need to do the X-axis belts. Now what you need to do, you need to turn it around and grab your belt. Just take your belt, and we are going to loop it around the left side. I'm going to use my flathead screwdriver that came with the kit to push the belt fully in. Now we are going to loop it around the idler end. Make sure it goes around the idler. I'm going to take it here, pull it all the way through. Take the GT2 belt, put it back through. going underneath the idler. Run it through the carriage. Now, what you need to do is you're going to loop it around the motor. You're going to run it in through the motor side. You're going to run it under the pulley. So under the GT2 pulley. Over the pulley. Out through the carriage. Now we have that. Now what we need to do is the two screws closest to the motor need to be the two screws closest to the rail, to the Z-axis rail, need to be removed. I'm just going to take those out. What we're going to do is we're going to take those out here. We're going to grab the motor and push it in. Push it up, in, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take the other side of the belt and we're going to put it in the XM piece. It shouldn't be that hard to do so. Now, what you do is you turn the motor back into place. And I'm going a little bit far on the stretching, which means it's not really that tensioned. So it doesn't really have a belt tensioner, but the way it tensions it is that you loosen the motor and then you retighten the motor back into place once the belt has been inserted, and that puts tension on the belt. I like it that way. So now that's good. So now we take our screws back, and then we screw it back into place. It shouldn't be too hard to turn the motor back. If it is, then you made it too tight. Yeah, they have that on the Mark III. I didn't use it. It's just loose. I never used the tensioner assembly. I didn't like it. So I just made it as tight as I needed it to be and just left it. Hello, German printing nerd. So I'm actually going to end the stream actually soon because that will be the end of the tensioning of the belt. Well, there's also, what they do too is they push the rods away from each other with these two screws that you see on the end here. Now to make sure it is properly tensioned, You can do this. You hold the motor shaft, and then you try and move it. If it doesn't move. That might be a little bit too much tension. Oh, hello down. That's a little bit too much tension. So we're going to back it off probably about 2 teeth. Let's go 2 teeth for now on the belt, because it was a little bit hard to put it back into place. So we'll just knock it down a little bit. See? Little too tensioned. 1, 2. Alright, so 2 teeth is too much, so we need to move it up 1. Two hours leveling your bed. I did that on the Mark III yesterday. Not really leveling, it was manual sort of leveling. There we go. That's good tension. Now let's tighten the screws back into place. It feels good. Not too tensioned. Good. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this part of the stream. So in the next video, we are going to be putting together the extruder. That will be part 5, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace.